Hi, and welcome to our book chapter here. The chapter is Harnessing the Power of Attention, Exploring Focus of Attention, Theories, Practice, and Myths. So first of all, I'm going to introduce you to myself and my co-authors who are here. We have one other co-author, Harjiv Singh, who hasn't been able to make it. So we will start with you, Vicky.
So hi everyone, my name is Vicky Gottwald. I'm a senior lecturer in skill acquisition at Bangor University. I also have a teaching and a coaching background. So I'm a UKCC level 4 basketball coach, and really how I got interested in this area is through my teaching, through my coaching. I've had the opportunity to observe myself and other practitioners, and the instructions and the language they use when giving instructions and feedback. And I've just become very interested in how the instructions we give can help or hinder.
Hello everyone, I'm Owen. I'm a lecturer in sport psychology at Liverpool Hope University. English is not my first language, but I've only started coaching in English since I moved to Great Britain. And I've become a little bit obsessed with how little tweaks in language can create quite a big effect for athletes. So that's why I found this book chapter particularly interesting.
Hi, and my name is Marianne Davies. I'm a doctoral student at Sheffield Hallam University, and I am researching skill acquisition in equestrian sports. And I'm also a senior coach developer at UK Coaching. I can particularly interested in focus of attention, primarily from studying motor learning, motor control, and skill acquisition, and that recognition that maybe we're a little bit out of kilter in our focus on movement and what we do, the action bit of perception action, and less on the perception bit, what we're paying attention to. And obviously with working with horses and training dogs, language again is very different, and how we give instructions and how we create an environment for learning is very different. So I became very interested in what is being paid attention to by an athlete or participant, which tees up the chapter really nicely. So we start off with a bit of a story and really framing this idea around being intentional as a coach about where you are directing the focus of attention of the people you're working with, whether they're high performance athletes or they're just participants, and why that might be important. And hopefully we'll move away from this internal external dichotomy. Vicky will dig into that in just a minute and become more attuned to where is the information that matters to them, and is that where they're focusing their attention.
So in terms of that, I'll just give you a quick whistle-stop tour of the main body of the chapter. So coach education frameworks often give us a bit of a blueprint of how to do a sport, but they don't necessarily get into too much depth in terms of how to coach. And what we've come to realize is in terms of instructions and feedback, that actually bad instructions and feedback can be worse than no instructions at all. And when we give a particular instruction in a sporting setting or other domain, that can cause us to pay attention to different things during skill learning. So if I take a set shot in basketball, I might instruct an athlete to try and snap their wrist a bit more in the shot. And that would be what we term an internal focus of attention, because it causes the athlete to focus on a body movement. Conversely to an external focus of attention, which is a focus on a movement effect. So maybe I instruct the athlete to try and get a bit more arc on the ball. And traditionally in this field, what we see is is external focus in instructions are better for a whole host of reasons, including performance accuracy, movement efficiency. So we might see low muscle activity, movement form, lots of different reasons. So we dig into that a little bit deeper. And one of the reasons for that is because when we focus on our movements, there's a body of research that suggests that actually we can constrain our actions. So if you take a skill that you do automatically, please don't do this at home, but walking down the stairs, for example, if you try and think about the movement of your feet, that will probably become quite awkward in nature. So that's what we go on to talk about in the book chapter.
And if you've been following focus of attention literature already, before this book chapter, you will already know that it can be a little bit of a jungle. There have been loads of theories proposed, there have been loads of conflicting evidence. So towards the end of the book chapter, we try to cut through it all and provide a little bit of clarity. So what? If you are not necessarily interested in all of the theory, that's okay. We try to provide on a sport by sport and skill by skill basis what focus of attention would be a beneficial one for those sorts of situations and athletes. So while traditionally many sports indeed benefit from an external focus of attention on, for example, a target or the environment, there are instances which still benefit from that. Recent literature shows some interesting and exciting opportunities to apply an internal focus with athletes, for example, when relearning skills or trying to achieve optimal movement form, for example.
Thanks. And we will finish with a summary that then helps you start to change your practice, so help you become more aware of not only the idea about what you might want to be doing with the particular sport you're involved in and the athletes that you work with, but also helping you then understand where you're focusing your attention, ideas for helping you become more aware of where you are focusing your athletes' attention and how you can be more intentional about how you go about that practice and explore it yourself. So enjoy.